Well, we are setting up. Got so much to do today. I think we'll probably start with some prioritization of all the tasks I have, because I started looking at it, and I'd be lying if I wouldn't say I'm a little overwhelmed. But I like a lot of stuff on my plate. Like juggling a bunch of stuff and then just having half of it drop on the floor and then going, well, do better next time. I don't know. I'm kind of like chaotic in that way. Anyways, yeah, I was got some stuff we'll probably prioritize a little bit. I don't know what I named this stream, something terrible, but I think it's like Markdown extension or something. But yeah, we'll probably take a Markdown file and start bullet pointing all this stuff, jogging around in my head so we can start making progress and mapping that progress out. I think in one video we set up like this whole like team project and like how progress completion and all this other stuff. And you know, as with most things in business, I think a lot of people overcomplicate things with meetings and timelines and all this other stuff. I think you just make unrealistic expectations and then just try and make them. And then when you fail, you go, well, at least we got closer. All right, push it back a week. Let's go again. Do that until you win. How's it going? Calum, Coding Wonders, everybody. Oh, man. Yeah, Calum's finally whittled me down. You guys can blame him or thank him, whichever you want to go there with the Discord. He's finally broken me after 2 or 3 years of hounding me of setting up the Discord. I finally have just been like, screw it. All right, fine. Let's just put it all in one Discord. And but everyone over there's been great. It has been great. I haven't had any headaches. I haven't had any problems. Maybe all the Linux zealots moved on. I don't know. It's been good though. It has been good. And I was begrudgingly opening up a Discord when we first did the winutil and linutil projects, because I've had Discords in the past and they always turn in like this drama infested place, and then people are unhappy, and then I'm getting comments on videos going, someone made fun of me in your Discord or something like that. And but that hasn't happened. Knock on wood. And it's been really nice. It has been very nice. So thank you guys. It's been a good alternative, and I haven't had any issues with the Discord. So I'm just gonna kind of slow play it. And everyone over there's been great, you know, with Rux and Calum, Modden, and all the other people that have kind of stepped up, and it's been a good spot. So I was like, great. I don't want to call in too much. I don't want to do like a shout out on a YouTube video, because good Lord, there's some crazy people in the world, and I don't want to deal with them. So sometimes I'm afraid we get too big. I know that's not that shouldn't be something you worry about, but I like being a little more obscure and a little bit unknown. I'm good. I'm good with where we're at. I'm really happy with where we're at. I don't want to get bigger, and I don't want to get smaller. So I just kind of want to hover around this, where we're at. I feel like this is a great spot. Yeah. Yeah. We do have quite a few members in Discord now. It's kind of crazy. And that's been just like really chill, slow playing. You still get the occasional people that just jump in and be like, hey, I have this problem. I want free tech support. And I'm like, oh God, no. But you know, I think Coding Wonders has answered like so many questions over there. God bless him. You have the patience of a saint. So yeah. Oh man. If you ever get too big, just start streaming free BES stuff. I don't know, man. You joke, but whenever I did the Linux from scratch video, that was, I think, one of the most successful streams I've ever did. Like the rewatch value of Linux from scratch, like everyone rewatched that video. I was like, Really? Y'all are sick. Man. Got like a piece of hair or something. I need to go get a haircut is what I need. I don't know though. I think I'm gonna grow out my hair. I'm gonna just get a big giant fro. Because I don't think my hair, like I've never really let it go too long. I think I'm just gonna get like, you know how every YouTuber after they've been online for like 5 or 6, 7 years, they just grow out their hair. I was like, well, I'm to that stage. We're at that era. So I'm just gonna grow out my hair. But the problem is my hair doesn't ever like fall down to one side or the other. So I just get a bigger fro. It just goes up. It never comes down to the side or anything. So I'm here for it. I'm going to look like Albert Einstein here in like a couple months. It's going to be insane. People are going to make fun of me. But my God, is it going to be something to behold? You're going to look at it and go, that's interesting. Does YouTube members and YouTube members have the same perks? Oh, Twitch? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. YouTube and Twitch members have the same perks. I set up both the same. We also have Patreon. I got to connect Patreon too. So, because I was going to condense the member server into the regular community server because there's no point in having 2 servers. So yeah, I need to do that too, Caleb. I have the fro problem too. Yeah, I was like, oh, my wife is like, I like it with long hair. You're fine. And I was like, I feel like she's trolling me, but that's okay. Are we making Mega Drive files today? Well, I will say today we have to organize stuff because my to-do list is getting kind of insane. So the tasks have gotten so big, I need to break them up into smaller chunks. And then we can decide what we want to do on the stream. There's a lot to accomplish. And I've been kind of putting it off. And I was like, okay, let's start breaking up all the big things I need to do. And then we might actually record a YouTube video too on stream. I might tinker with that a little bit. I've seen a couple people do that specific, not like the drama tubers, because God, I hate the current era of YouTube. I want to talk about that for a second, but God, the drama era of YouTube where like everyone's like, this person isn't who they say they are. AVS, man, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gifted subs. Holy shit. Wow. Thank you. But yes, yeah, I was like, man, the drama era of YouTube has been I just don't like it. It's gross. It's like, you had like the whole pirate software drama, which I get, but then like I saw one about like Mutahar, I think it was, the other day popped up on my feed. He's like, he isn't who he says he is. I'm like, dude, I thought he was just like some guy that came up on YouTube at like 18. And then he just does quirky tech videos occasionally and like emulator stuff. I don't watch him that much. But some ordinary gamers, I was like, what? So, like, he never has been like, my credentials are this, this, and this. And then he's like getting out. He's like, he is not an engineer. And I'm like, well, no shit. Nobody ever thought that guy was an engineer, right? Like, it was like I was like, is this where we're at? I mean, it's funny because I'm like, whatever. I'm waiting for mine to pop up. Chris Titus. Who is he? Is he a fraud? I did see a short, actually. Someone did this. It was hilarious. They were like, Chris Titus isn't who he says he is. He's a snake oil salesman. He's always talking his utility. His open source utility. What a fraud. But it was so funny. Like initially I was like, well, that's messed up. And then as soon as I open up comments, this guy got absolutely massacred by like the comments. It was hysterical. I was cracking up. Yeah. CTT's AI. So yeah. That happened. I did see that, but it was a short. I didn't get a full length video. You know, I didn't get like an internet anarchist treatment. So yeah. Anywho, I was just like, man. Yeah, I say all that to be like, man, I know on YouTube, it's just the ebbs and flows of it over the past 7 years that I've done it has been pretty wild. I've loved it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I feel like we're going into another algorithm shift or whatever you call. And I'm like, God bless. All right, well, let's churn up the video creation machine again and start churning out some videos. So we'll probably do some of that on stream. You want the super hyper offline exe? Go get the winutil. I'm kidding. You know, you can always do it for free. It's open source. Okay. I'm planning to dual boot Linux. Remember Battlefield 6? What do? You dual boot. You need 2 hard drives. KOK, 1 with Windows, 1 with Linux. Jay's 2 cents in his last Linux video, where he was like, "Oh, my Linux boot just completely got messed up." I'm pretty sure he put Windows and Linux on the same drive. Never do this. So you always want 2 drives, 1 with Windows, 1 with Linux, and that way Windows won't overwrite the bootloader of Linux, because that's what happened to Jay. The bootloader of Linux got overwritten when Windows updated. It saw, oh, there's only one EFI partition and Linux has it. I'm going to overwrite that. So then that essentially makes Linux unbootable. You can fix this in a variety of different methods, which I've shown on stream quite a few times, and also I've done articles on christitus.com about this. But you could either modify boot MGR to boot into Linux. Yes, I know, that's wild. Blasphemy. Nobody in the Linux realm actually has done. We probably should set up this article. But you could do like easy BCD, which is the boot, I think it's like boot controlled database is what BCD stands for. I don't know. Anyways, boot MGR is what Windows uses, and you can actually add entries to it to boot Linux from Windows. On your dual boot. Now, I don't like doing it this method because it's ugly and Windows has no style, has no flavor, you know, like Steve Jobs would say. They just have no taste, is exactly the words Steve Jobs has said. And it's true. He was absolutely spot on about Microsoft not having any taste. So that's one method. The other method is to do the 2 drive. Very easy. You can have them just separated and just boot, whether you want to select it through a BIOS boot menu or you just want to control it all with your grub partition in Linux, which I recommend because then you can theme it out and make it look cool like I do. And I use grub for that. So those are the 2 methods that I would say you need to do. But 2 drives. That's dual boot's the only way. And here's the thing, guys. I recommend everyone dual boot. I still dual boot. I've been a long time Linux user. You guys always see me punching around. Here's what happens to me. And I'm probably a little bit ADD slash, I don't know. I wouldn't call myself bipolar, but bipolar when it comes to operating systems, maybe. I have certain seasons where I get sick of Linux or I get sick of Windows. And I find the dual boot, I just have them both going at all times. And then when I'm like, oh God, you know what? I just can't deal with Linux today, or I can't deal with Windows today, I'll boot into the other and I'll just work out of that operating system. And then when I get tired of that, I'll boot back into the other operating system. And I'll actually do this for 3 or 4 months at a time. And then something will happen and then I'll switch back to the other one. Usually I'm on Linux about 3 or 4 months. And then something happens and I'll be like, that's annoying. And then I'll switch back to Windows. And then usually I'm on Windows for less than 30 days before it pisses me off. And then Windows just does something. I'm like, God, this is so stupid. And then I'll switch back to Linux for 3 or 4 months. And that's like my ebb and flow. As you've probably seen over the past couple years here, it's like, it confuses people because they're like, wait, is he Linux? Is he Windows? And I'm always like, both. But in reality, it's more of a seasonal thing for me. which I know I'm very, very unique in this regard. Most people do not do this. I just find that there's certain things I don't like being bored, I think. And it's always something like that. Oh, I saw that ABS in the message. The RMRF. Oh, brother. That's a sad face. This, yeah, Total Reach. I probably should do a video on that. I meant to do a video on website design / structure for, yeah, like my website, essentially you'd have to take down Cloudflare to take it down. So my website has more redundancy and is better than pretty much any website in the world. Oh, I know that's a bold statement, but hear me out. It's a static site. There's no attack surface. It's completely distributed through all of Cloudflare's CDNs around the world. So depending on where you're at, it doesn't matter. It's going to load in less than a second. Full paint. Full colorful paint on the website, less than 1 second, anywhere in the world. And it's all distributed that way. There's no way you can take it down unless you hack into my Cloudflare account. That's why I never really show my Cloudflare account on stream. That and Cloudflare does this stupid thing where they add and show your account email login all the freaking time. If they had like a streamer mode for Cloudflare, I'd be all about it. But anyways, I digress. Website design and structure is something I love, and I'm not big on I'm not big on like web GUIs to manage websites. I think they're a huge attack surface. I don't like attaching databases to my websites. I really just like, hey, here's markdown files. I love Hugo because I can just take those markdown files, publish them directly to static site HTMLs that you can't really do anything with, and they serve ungodly fast. I even go to a step further where I consolidate all my JavaScript. So instead of referencing like 5 or 6 different JavaScripts, I consolidated all that into a minified file to where I manage it. You know, instead of calling Bootstrap, jQuery, and all this other crap that every other website does, I like make it fast, like really, really fast. And then I even went a step further, and this is to my detriment too. I am not a front-end designer, as you all know. It's not the prettiest website, but it loads fast. The thing about this is, this one actually doesn't look that bad. Okay, that one's not so bad. I think I overdid the compression on some of these. Let's go to an older one. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. But yeah, let's go. Man, I need to take some new headshots. God bless, I've been using the same ones for like 2 years. Yeah, something like this, right? Look at that. You can see the pixels. But if we take this image and we inspect it, that image is only 10 kilobytes. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't have an image larger than probably 50 kilobytes. I want to keep that as small as possible. So I condensed all my images into WebP format, consolidated them down to a low one, and then did stupid amounts of compression. So it doesn't look great, but it loads crazy fast. This is what happens if you just let the back-end guy do everything, which is what I like. I just like speed. I like structure. I like designing for just a stupid scale that's never going to happen. But when like Jay was like, I'm going to take down his site with all this traffic I'm going to send his way, it was a nice bump, but nah, man, we could handle 100, 1,000 times the amount of traffic that Jay sent. So it scales almost infinitely, and it is fast. So fast. But God bless, I need to do a better job on my design. When I just a little bit, you rewind the clock 5 minutes, I sit there and said Microsoft has no taste. I may not have much taste either. Eesh. Anywho, I find that funny. What about Atlas OS and alternatives? Oh, didn't you have those in mind as well? Yeah, so Tiny 11 with the Tiny 11 builder coding is really the only alternative that I would recommend these days, because it uses everything like we do on the MicroWin. Just using DISM and official Microsoft tools. The problem with Atlas OS and Revy OS and all these others, they're using the Miller-rated Teams closed source executables to do this. All of it's behind closed doors. Stuff they put in the open source repository is frankly not functional. They don't compile. They don't make anything. So it's not open source, and they're hiding a lot of the code. So that never changed. They never got an influx of donations or anything. So why would they continue doing it this way? For now, it's been years. I just would never recommend Atlas OS, Revy OS, or any of the Miller-rated stuff, because it's closed source. I don't know what they're doing. So that's the problem I have with them. It says it's open source, but it's not. Go try it out. Go download the C# project. Do it yourself. Pull it up in Visual Studio. You'll find really fast there's a lot of libraries missing. There's some code missing. It doesn't compile, and you can't actually have a functional project with it unless you go through them. You pay them money. I think it is like 80 or 90 bucks to put it into some playbook. There's just so many like red flags there with all of it that I could just never recommend them. I would do a video on this, but it's overly negative, and I don't see a need for it because a lot of people don't even know about these projects. And I think shouting them out as a bad player might actually give them more publicity than they probably do. So I'm not even sure it would be a net positive anyways. And the video, I think, would become overly negative. And I'm like, CLIN UI is not good, Chris. I have removed it as it kept breaking the edge screens saying violation error. Yeah, I kind of figured I was going to try that out. And actually, now that you say that, I'll probably take that off my to-do list. I already have enough on my to-do list. So let's remove that. Thank you for the heads up there. One last question. Should Linux or Windows be on my fastest SSD? This is totally up to you, KOK. Which one do you primarily want to be in? Now, starting off, that's going to be Windows. But you might elevate your knowledge to a point where you like being on Linux more, like me. I like being on Linux more, so my answer to this question is obviously going to be Linux. But coming from Windows for the first time, you're going to be back in Windows a lot. You're going to be like, crap, I need this. Ah, crap, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to go to Windows. You're going to do that a lot, especially starting out. And you may want to put it on Windows. It just depends. But yeah, that's my thought. Oh, he has crashed other project site. Oh man, that's funny. That's so awesome. Yeah, nah. I come from the business realm, Total Reach, so like all my stuff is designed from a more of a business perspective. Like people asked, hey, I'm worried about paying you money. And I'm like, guys, I don't see any of the credit cards, all that stuff's Shopify backend. Like my entire stack, let's just write it out actually, instead of just sitting here chatting, because I've done it so much. Let's go to website, get poll. Let's go Hugo new posts 2025 website design .markdown. All right, let's go website design. So I would probably put this site design It's close. I was like, which one are we on? It's kind of close. All right, so what's the anarchy theme? I don't think that is actually correct. It's kind of like its own custom theme. I forget which I used for the blank. What is that? Nah. This is an interesting theme. Let's go to the demo. Wow. I don't mind that theme. It's its own custom theme though. So it runs completely off of Cloudflare. The store, this runs completely off Shopify and uses, I think the liquid code, custom code for injection directly into, that's whatever, it's fine, directly into the Hugo pages. Wow, it's not true. It does have its own Shopify theme. Custom domain at cttstore.com and uses the Dawn theme with custom liquid download modifications, so users can re-download any purchases anytime in the future. All payment and file storage is done on Shopify's servers. So Shopify is used for more than 75% of all e-commerce. Let's double check that stat. E-commerce is Shopify in 2025. Oh, it's 10%. Wow, that's way off. Holy shit. I was going to say more than 75%. I thought it was pretty high. Okay, 32% of the market share in the US for e-commerce. It scales crazy. It's kind of nuts that Shopify uses Ruby on Rails. A lot of people don't realize that. It's the biggest Ruby on Rails project in the world, I believe. But yeah, 32% of market share in there. We'll just copy that. Yeah. Let's just go make that italic. So that's kind of the design structure behind it all. And this part, pages, infinite scale. Let's make it all caps, actually. Hugo uses markdown files. So it doesn't use any server-side scripting. There is no database, so there's almost no attack surface. This means no attack surface. And will be loaded faster than any other site because there is no dynamic content. The largest part of the load is Google Ads, believe it or not. So Google Ads accounts for, I think, 600 milliseconds, anywhere between 300 and 600 milliseconds to serve an anchor ad. Now, I don't do any in-article ads. I don't do any sidebar ads. I don't do practically any ads on my website. Most people use an ad blocker anyways. But I do use an anchor ad down at the bottom. Anchor ads have the highest revenue per view. So when you look at how much money I'm generating from my website, roughly it's $600 off of one anchor ad a month. The site has roughly 250,000 unique visitors per month and over 1 terabyte of bandwidth usage. So this is static site, infinite scale. It barely even touches it. You can see there's just tons and tons and tons of visitors and it just flies. We could use 10 terabytes, maybe even 100 terabytes. I don't know. Eventually, I feel like Cloudflare is going to go, Titus, we're going to need some money because holy shit, are you using some bandwidth? They haven't done that yet. So eventually that probably will happen, but yeah. Capitalize the G and A. Did I forget the G and A? Where is the G and A? I don't know. Oh, really? Let's see. Oh, God bless. Oh, that's the old website, isn't it? Yeah, it should be this one right here, winutil.christitus.com. Thank you, Caleb. Let's do that really fast. So anyways, this is the website design. Let's go downloads. Let's update that. So this is how you update a website. Why I love it. Guess what? We just updated the website. Caleb said, hey, we need to update that URL. Literally 20 seconds. I don't know, give or take. We just updated that link. Instead of having to go and click, oh, let me let that load. Let me scroll down. Let me highlight it. Let me click the little link icon. And then let's type that in the pop-up and then hit OK and then submit. None of that business. Content management systems and websites. Oh, don't even get me started. Oh my God. I hate them so much. And this is how I manage my content. It makes sense. It's fast. It's slick. It's no attack surface. It's just beautiful. And it scales infinitely. You just got to learn Markdown. It's worth learning though. Yeah, God, Julian, you're finding my weak points here. Now you see, leave it to chat to point out my weak points. I'm not very good with English. You'd be like, oh, visitors, visitors, hacker style. Thank you. But yeah, you can tell I don't AI a lot of my stuff because I have a lot of grammatical errors. I also have a lot of spelling errors. It's just one of them things. Oh god, yeah, WordPress users would still be loading the login page. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with WordPress users anymore. Just the attack surface on a WordPress website is just infinite in scale. Like, the fact businesses use WordPress, it just blows my damn mind. I did see a good statistic. I forget where it was. I think it was like Twitter or something, where someone said the last batch of YC businesses that got accepted into Y Combinator was 69% of them out of the 100 that were accepted were using custom sites like mine. Probably a little worse than mine, but at least some form of that. They're probably using some janky Next.js shit, but whatever. Don't get me started on JavaScript and that type of thing, but it's better. It's way better than a WordPress website. There was only like 1 or 2 WordPress websites in that batch, and then there's a handful of people using Wix and Squarespace and all those really crappy, like, oh, we'll build it for you websites, which I don't know how they're getting into YC if they're doing Wix. They probably knew somebody. They're probably just really good talkers and really good at networking. Professional bullshit artists able to get millions of dollars in funding, but you know. You're updating. Oh, I haven't done that. No, it should be. It does take a while. So one of the downsides to doing this method, when you go to the website, it may not reflect on your end, because guess what? Ooh, shoot. I never did update the, oh, I need to fix that. We need to add a screenshot to that guy. But let's go downloads. So that's still the old link, right? Let's control F5 it. Still the old link. The problem is, remember earlier when I said you can't really take down the website because it's a static site and it's hosted on all the CDNs? Well, those CDNs hold all the files. So it's not an instant update, because guess what? This information lives in probably thousands of different servers distributed across the world. So when you update, you're waiting for the TTL to expire, and then the file itself will get pulled from its original repository, which is on GitHub, and then it will get updated. So it's not a real-time update unless you set your TTL at a very low rate. I think mine's set to like 60 minutes or something, because I don't really care. But we could rebuild the cache or clear the cache. If it needed to be an instant update, we could do that. But that cache has to be rebuilt and then served out and then distributed to all the content delivery network servers, and then it gets updated. So this is great, because it's essentially like having 1,000 different servers distributed around the world practically for free. The downside is instant updates don't really happen unless you do like a low TTNL, or I could manually flush the cache on all the servers and force them to pull updates. If it was like a breaking fix, I'm like, holy crap, I can't have this out in the world, which never happens, because this has always been more of a hobby website for me. I've been running ChrisTitus.com for 18 years, something like that. And I've always just kind of like, hey, I have like my Hyperland config. I'm going to just toss up changes to this and go, hey, I really like the fact you can specify serial numbers into your Hyperland config. So when you plug in a Linux laptop or a Linux computer into a new monitor, it reads the serial number of that. And then you can specify this monitor should always be over here on this XY axis. And then this monitor should be over here on the XY axis. And then you can always have your monitors arrange themselves, and it'll also detect and always set the resolution properly and the refresh rate and all that, scaling, and you just can do it all directly in Hyperland. It was one of the best things about Hyperland. Actually, it's the biggest selling point for me. Everyone's like, oh, the animations and all this other crap. Nope. This This is the coolest thing, I think. Let's fix this though. Right now it's referencing, what is that referencing? Setting up VK Basalt reshade on Linux. Dang it. That was last stream we did that. Let's just pull a screenshot from last stream. Oh no. Let's go vids. Teacher, why is the website not loading? Oh man. So let's go. I think it was script updates. Let's see. Dude, that was a 5-hour stream we did. Let's go. You gotta say I am animated. Let's go here with this. I kind of want like a screenshot of me and VK Basalt. Ah, there we go. No, that's the wiki. Did I never pull in? No, not so much. Let's get before we did all that. Good Lord. You guys see me pound around on that for that long? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's a winner. Oh yeah, that's right. We set up GIMP too. You all have so much patience with me. I'm gonna improve though. I'm making it my goal coming forward. I am gonna totally improve. You're gonna see some new flashy stuff on stream. Not today, but soon. You have my word. We're gonna do some new screen elements. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love it. I did these in April of 2024. People are gonna start going, you know, your hair is way different now. Oh, yeah. Here, we'll use this one. The Lost Chris. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Just gotta fix this thumbnail. And then we'll be on our way. Where's my tools? Huh. Well, that's weird. Oh, they must have done something in 3.0. Well, I could add that to chat perks. You got it. Oh man. All right. What? Where did my toolbar go though? It should be in dockables, right? And then you got layers. Okay, there's that. Single window mode. Tabs position. What if you put them on the left? Why am I drawing a blank here? Okay, we need to reset this. Maybe I pulled in like an old setting or preference. Hide docs is selected. Hide docs. Where is that? Windows? Oh. There we go. Yep. Julian, good eye. Good eye. Well, that's... Should put that over there, I guess. This is a little different. Different setup. Tool options. Okay. Oh, I screwed all this up, didn't I? Okay. Anyway. We should be fine now. Let's go colors. I never did set a custom theme for this at all. But anyways, we should be fine. Let's go outline. Shoop. Just make that pop a little bit. We worked on this script so much that now you get to see my jank. Graphic designers are very disappointed in me. But again, when we started the stream out, I told you guys I've always been kind of more of a back-end person myself. Did I just crash camp? Debating switching to M4 Pro MacBook for my day-to-day sysadmin job, mainly Windows environment. Ever done this? Thoughts, parallels. So what I do at my day job when I have to work on Windows servers as my day job, I don't run parallels in my MacBook. What I do is I have a couple domain controllers that I'm always in whenever I'm like changing, adding like Active Directory users, maybe the GPO, all the things I need to do Windows-esque. I actually have like a secondary domain controller that's almost never used and just kind of sits there. And I just RDP in it. And then whether I'm in Linux, whether I'm in Mac, whatever I'm on that day, I'll just RDP and just have that session going. And then I'll just do my edits directly on the domain controller or whatever I need done. I know that's probably not the way to do it. But it works really well because it gets pushed out right away. And most times I'm needing the Windows for something. It's usually something related to those things aforementioned. Now, if you're using like Adobe and all this other crap and like Office, obviously you're not going to want to put that on your DC. So you probably want to do a secondary parallels or something for virtualization. Virtualization just doesn't feel great though when you're in it. Even when I was doing PCI pass-through here on my Linux system, there was a level of it, it just didn't feel great. And I would rather just dual boot into it for this. Now, obviously you don't have that option for MacBook. So parallels is almost your only thing. I prefer to use just straight up RDP and just some hardware somewhere. So probably a better setup here would be have like an old system that you use that's local there. Like at my work, we have a ton of like old desktops and crap that never gets used. So I'll take one of those, throw a fresh version of Windows on it, join it to the domain, set myself up as the main user of that, and then I just throw it either in the rack or a place that no one's going to bother it, and it's on like an UPS, and then it just runs headless. You might get like a HDMI dummy dongle. I think I have one over here, and then just toss it in there. But just leave that there, and then you can always remote into that anywhere. And it's also nice, like let's say you're at home and let's say something happens with the business and you need to check on something and maybe you're not able to access your servers or something in that regard, you could remote directly into your little desktop and then access it that way. I prefer that approach, especially compared to virtualization on a laptop. I just never have liked the virtualization solution. It just doesn't, feels kind of clunky, and I'd much rather do an RDP. So whether you RDP directly into DC, or I would prefer the best method that I've done when I was working full time, I would always do the, hey, this is my box. It's always running. It's always connected. it just sits over in a corner somewhere no one's going to mess with, and it's in like usually a locked room. And then I just remote into that and then would use that with me being full-time Linux, because I was full-time Linux because when I first started the channel in 2018, I was full-time up until 2021. And then obviously the downturn of the pandemic, I went to part-time. I was like, oh yeah, you guys are having financial problems with this. Well, cut me down from 5 days to 2 days. And they were like, dude, all right, cool. And so I think they halved my pay, and then I went to 2 days a week, and I was like, this is the best deal ever. I still get full benefits, and I don't have to work as much. I just get paid less, but I can make that up through this crap. And yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. Rambling again. You got to stop me sometimes. Razzle, 1 year. Congrats. Almost 1 year. 1 month away. All right. RDP into a DC doesn't pose. Well, you're on the local network, Raz. I mean, like most people would just do like remote tools. You're an admin, a domain admin at this point. Whether you do it on your local box or you log into the DC doesn't matter. That's my preference. And it depends on how big the business is too. Bigger businesses, you're not going to need the headless box idea. Like, this is more small business I'm talking about. We're talking, I don't know, maybe 100 users. If you are on a bigger business, let's say Fortune 500, you have thousands of users, you don't need a headless box. Just log into your virtualization host that's hosted in your DC, spin up a new box, call it master box or whatever, whatever funny name you want to make it. Just spin up a new one in the DC itself, and then just use that as your workstation. That's the way to go. So you may not need, if you have a whole, colo with a whole bunch of hosts, a whole bunch of storage, you just carve out a little bit for your own workstation. It would be my recommendation. I've done that in bigger businesses that I've had to manage. So instead of a headless box, I would have my own VM sitting in the data center. Yeah, and you're going to be RDPing everywhere. Like when someone was like, hey, RDP into a DC, that's a security risk. Bro, sysadmins are RDPing into those things day in, day out. The only thing I would say as a bad practice that I see some sysadmins do is some people never close their sessions. It drives me crazy. Just from a personal perspective, when I was on a team of people, I'd always be like, guys, close your damn sessions. You're literally, I have 3 different domain admins, and you all didn't close your damn session. The DC's running like ass because no one's just leaving everything going in the background. It's fine if you have a running task, sure. But most of y'all just are lazy and are not logging out. So a little pet peeve of mine. The other pet peeve I see sysadmins do that just drive me up a wall. Oh, God, when they were making... This is a common one, and I just want to punch sysadmins when they do this. They make one GPO, and then they assign 1,000 different freaking values to one GPO. If you're going to make multiple GPOs, freaking make multiple GPOs. Like, don't go, hey, master GPO, and then just toss everything in there. Printer management, sure. Let's change the login, sure. Let's change that over here. Let's change updates, and we'll just toss it all into the same policy. I've seen that before, and that, there's a special place in hell for you people out there that do that. Oh, I hate you so much. I've had to untangle that crap, and that is just the worst. Ah! All right, take it easy, ABS. Reason why you're named the Yapper Master. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, there's just a couple things like that. In modern versions of Windows Server, you can install the Windows Admin Center, and you have that as an online portal. Yeah. The RDAP tools, I think it is. The remote... this is what most people do. Remote Admin Tools, Microsoft. Yeah, remote server administration tools. I couldn't remember the exact. What happened here? Too much ad block. No ad block? Refresh. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, remote server admin tools is what most people do. So you usually would have the RSAT tools sitting on a workstation, and then this would load up your server manager. And then from the server manager, you could do Active Directory changes, you can do printer management, you can do GPOs without having to log into the DC directly. It's still essentially the same damn thing. It's just another way of accomplishing it. So that was fun. Probably my tool I've liked that Microsoft made the most, if you're managing multiple systems, was, I don't even know if it's still functional. Remote desktop admin tool. I can't remember. Yeah, here it is. RDC Manager. This one was really cool. This was a sysinternals tool. It looks like it's still getting updates in 2025. How about that? So this was kind of neat because then you can just load up all of these, because I have one sysadmin and he made separate RDP files for every single server. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You need this tool. Like, install this. Like, you don't need all these RDP files. This is ridiculous. Just use RDC Manager. And he's like, oh, yeah, that is a lot better. So RDC Man, tried and true tool. It's been around for decades at this point. And when I learned of that, that's really nice if you're in and out of a bunch of systems. All right, sorry. All right, what was I doing? I got completely sidetracked by the sysadmin talk. Oh, did the website ever update? Let's. It should have updated by now. I think my TTL was not that long. Let's see. Yeah, it's still not up to date. No, it still didn't up to date. It might be a day. I forget what my TTL is. Next version of my utility will have some ADDS features built in. Oh, nice coding. Do you run any Windows 11 devices? I dual boot some, Q. I wanted to actually try... oh, that's right. We were adding that. Forgot. One second. Let me finish this really fast. Let's go built tiling. 300. Let's go white. I know, I'm terrible. I'm terrible with design. You don't have to tell me. I already know. Why did I do a pop-up prompt? I should have changed this to just auto do it, but whatevs. Yeah, we got enough pop there. I feel like we're missing something though. Let's add a little flair. Feeling special today. Let's add a little bit of a pop. Yes. Add a little bit of that. Yeah. Give it a little spice. A little gradient action. Oh. Gorgeous. All right, we'll call this VK Basalt. Done. Maybe those people will stop sending me those stupid I get so many emails like, I'm a thumbnail designer. I'm like, bro, I know you're just doing some shitty AI tool and just tossing it in there. Bro, it takes me literally 3 minutes. It would take me longer to send you an email explaining what I want when I could just do it myself. That's where I'm at. You might be thinking, well, I can do it better. I can get better results. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, you can't. All right, let's go file, save, and export. Let's go WebP. Export that, image quality, done. No gradient. Ew. Oh man, that's funny. Let's go Z video. No. Oh, I think I needed to change. Oops. I forgot the question marks actually regex. I just trashed everything in my thumbnails. Oopsies. Trash. What was the restore? Trash restore. I think it. Let's go trash list. What all's in here? TLDR, trash restore. Can't remember. It says you can interactively. Ah, okay, cool. So let's go. Oh. Yeah, let's just restore 0 to 56. Trash list. There we go. This is why I use Trash CLI. I forget why I was in here though. Let's just do it from the GUI. Happened one of those days. Sometimes I think my brain functions differently depending on the day. All right, so this one's good to go. Let's take this one. Go images. No, not images. Oh, I never set this up actually. I think this is after. After we did everything. Static images. So we go images. Let's paste that. Setting up reshade on Linux. 1 second. God bless. I swear, sometimes I am a lost cause. All right, what is that? Oh, we're at 175. What did I do here? Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. Let's screw it. You know what? I'm gonna go higher res on my stuff now. We'll just leave it there. Let's fix that. Did we fix this whole article? I think we did this whole article yesterday. It should be fine. I never did a walkthrough video. Oof. I feel like I should chop that up too. Anyways, sorry. I digress. All right, cool. So, big thing. We talked about website design and structure. Discord revamp. Oh, we never really talked about that. So yeah, we're doing some consolidation of Discord over here. We're adding like new roles for Twitch subscribers and YouTube members. So if we look over here, you'll see both Twitch subscribers and YouTube members, which I don't think we have any online right now, but I think they do exist. I'm pretty sure I set it up in the roles. So anyways, that's a new thing. Been working on that. What do we got? Fix docs URL. I thought that this was already done. Let's double check that. Because I'm pretty sure I already did that. Let's just check. No, I guess I never did. I thought I submitted that change. Yeah. Well, Caleb already did it, so let's just do the poll. Maybe I didn't merge it. Oh, I might not have saved it or something. Anyways. Thanks, Caleb. That's why it never updated, because I never actually updated the real file. All right. Yeah. Does anyone know a file manager that's almost as good as File Pilot for Linux? What was that one file manager that people were talking about? It's called Aging Process. Oh. No, it wasn't Thunar. Fancy. It was like a fancy Linux file manager. Let's look. XFCE is going to be Thunar, Nemo, PC, Dolphin, Space. No. Definitely not Ranger. Yeah, the problem is Linux folks like very minimal. And File Pilot is not a minimal file manager. Probably the closest thing I'm thinking, probably like a Dolphin. Dolphin has so many features. It's just a little bloated in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of it. But if you like File Pilot, because File Pilot, let's pull that up. Yeah, File Pilot's like that. Problem I find with Dolphin is it doesn't look as pretty. Like you can do the split screens, you can do terminal integration like File Pilot. You can do quite a bit with Dolphin. I think Dolphin would probably be the closest thing to File Pilot. It's just not as clean. File Pilot does a good job though. How much is File Pilot? $40. Damn. Inflation. Dolphin is also hot. Yeah, File Pilot's 1.8. It's minimal. Yeah, I don't know. Phoenix, he's a hardcore Linux user. He kind of bounces around. Phoenix, you use Windows too. We're trying to think of a File Pilot alternative for Linux. What's close in feature set to File Pilot? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm like, I don't know. Oh, I'm the guy who asked. All right, yeah, that's fair, bro. That's fair. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I figure you're the guy that would know. You turned me on to Glazed WM, man. Oh, God. Space Drive. I think Space Drive we've looked at, haven't we? Oh, actually. Mm-hmm. 1 second. I got to do one more quick update. Hey, I'm new to the channel, but I watch all your videos and thanks, Gian. Yeah, we're still figuring this whole Twitch thing out. But I've been trying to do YouTube alongside with it. We're gonna probably do some fun. Probably make a video today. I need to talk about game dos. It's been sitting on my to-do list forever. Let's start spinning that up, I think. Although I had this problem, and I'll talk 1 second. See what chat's idea is on this. So the idea was home theater PC. Now for home theater PC, I wanted initially to use Windows. So what I did was a stripped down version of Windows, easy. And then I wanted to do just auto launch Steam into big picture mode. This worked great too. So I set all this up probably 3-4 months ago. But the problem is I don't use that system very much. It will sit dormant for months at a time. And what ends up happening is Windows really doesn't like it when you're offline, sitting dormant for months at a time and then coming online. There's just updates, there's other crap that comes in. Yes, you can disable updates, but it's not a very good long-term solution. It will just break itself. And I'm thinking, inevitably at the end of the day, I was like, screw it, I'm just going to put Bazite on this, and then it's just easy. And that's what I ended up doing. But I'm thinking like Battlefield 6 and other things. I want just kind of like a system sitting there with Windows loaded, so I don't really have anything that I like absolutely have to have right then and there. And if I do, I can just go over to the home theater PC, play on it, and then come back to my Linux where I'm not in Windows as much. So that was my thought, but Windows just kind of breaks itself, and it's not very good if you're not playing on it on at least the weekly, and I just not. So I was looking at this Game Dos project, which kind of just auto does a lot of the launching of Steam, makes it more seamless, makes it more like a Steam Deck-esque in Windows, but I just... For my use case, I think Bazite's really what I have to go with. Anyways. That was my thought process. Yeah, big picture mode. Big picture's great if you just have a controller, though. Like, if you don't have a full-blown mouse and keyboard, big picture's fantastic. Well, Rux, we still need to host the game somewhere. So I was thinking the home theater PC would be the host. And then we could just moonlight. Whatever. Yeah. Well, Gian, now that you say that, it's a good suggestion. What I probably would do is just an LTSC. Just roll like Windows 11 LTSC, probably 2022. And then... you can pimp up, I believe you can pimp out LTSC to add store functionality if you need. It's going to require some modification, but it would be much better it would last a lot longer doing an LTSC spin. Strip down LTSC. How many people game on LTSC? I can't say I've used it for gaming. I think I've used it for gaming in the past. And just do like mass grave. Mass grave and been done with old LTSC, but I can't say that publicly. Yeah. Super good, very efficient. Okay, well, yeah, I probably would do that. Oh, good to hear, battery. We love it, man. We've been working on that forever. Heck, half the people in the chat probably have contributed to it. Yeah, there we go. We got a couple people. We got some LTSC gamers, so we could do that. I think is probably what we should try. Oh, did I add this? Crap. I am doing too many things. All right, let's go. Pull up. What was I updating here? I think it's the basalt thing. There it is. All right, cool. That's good. So we got script updates. We'll add that. Let's download LTSC. Let's give this a whirl. Because I kind of want to grab that really fast. My gosh. I think Chrome is just dying on me here. It's been blanking out like this for a little bit. I don't want to switch my browser again. It's probably the extension. One of my extensions is probably a little bit over filtering. What extension do I have? Let's take that off. Disable that. Oh, I think we got 2 YouTube enhancers, don't we? Let's take that off. I think just enhancer for YouTube. I don't know why I have that one too. Anywho. Oh hell, let's try. Oh, this is IoT. I don't want IoT. Let's download Windows 11 LTSC eval. Let's go Windows Server, or no, let's go Windows. I believe it's just labeled Windows Enterprise. It's time to switch to Edge on Linux. Oh my god, I would rather... Well, I mean, I say that, but I mean, we could. Alright, we're going to download Enterprise LTSC. You know, let's just grab it from UUDP, yeah, UUDP dump or something. I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. Screw it. I think we can just grab the latest public release build, x64. Where are you? I think it's LTSC. Server. I don't think the search on this works for, but we can change it. So let's go. No. I don't think you can specify LTSC on UUP dump. Say that 3 times fast. Thank you. Thank you, Tommy. Chad. Yeah, Chrome is working like just absolute crap lately. That or my DNS. I'm doing like some kind of filtering that's screwing things up. 1 second. We got to check. I'm going to check something. Feel like we got like a filtering issue here. Because this is just, it's just going so slow. It may be the 17 extensions. Hush, hush. No, that can't be it. That can't be it. I think we're doing deep packet inspection here and it's screwing me up. Could be the 17 extensions though. It just feels awful. I don't like it when I'm browsing the internet and it feels this bad. Let me look at the filtering process. Okay, so we got a policy engine. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let's turn off intrusion prevention. Great. Do we have a content filter? I'm trying to do an ad block through the DNS as well. Ooh, but I do block tail scale and other things too. Just in case I were to get compromised or one of my kids download something they shouldn't. I usually block certain things so you can't like... That's okay. I could probably hard code that into the firewall to block like all references to tail scale and other remote access tools. I like blocking all that crap. So I was like, I'm never going to remote into this method. I would use just a straight VPN into my system. So let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. Let's see how this works. I know this is a little bit behind the scenes, but I feel like that should do it. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, tail scale is nice for those that don't set up like a VPN, but I have no use case for tail scale, so I usually just try and block it. Huh. Mass Grave looks like it got taken down. That's still working. Yeah, there should be some LTS links in here, though. LTS links. I'm just looking for that. That's not working. That's 2019. We need, I want to say 2022, not 20. I must be thinking of the wrong one though. Yeah, I think 2021. This one's based on 21H2. I thought there was one that's a little newer on the LTSC. I could be misremembering. This is Windows 10. Huh, maybe it's getting hammered. It could be. Yeah, 2024. No, not Windows 10. I want Windows 11. I think it's something with my... There we go. Yeah, Windows 11 LTSC 2024 is what we want to go with. We want just English. Bam. I wonder how they host Massgrave so it doesn't get taken down. It's interesting. Whoever's behind it has done just such a great job. Anyways, there we go. Thanks, guys. Well, the idea is we want a gaming system, and like if you're just doing work, sure, go with a 2021, you're fine. But gaming, well, I don't know though. You could go 2021 Windows 10 LTSC. I just feel like the lifespan of that would be shorter. It's still plenty long enough because every LTSC is worth 10 years. So if it's 2021, it's not EOL until 2031. So yeah, you could totally do that. Hey Lars, evening. Why Enterprise? I don't think this is Enterprise, is it? Oh, it is Enterprise. I don't think it really matters. Let me refresh that. All right, good stuff. God, I need to take that new deal there. All right, how we doing on our checklist? We're working on the Windows Gaming HTPC. This was the project. I don't know how valid. I've added this months ago, but I don't think it's seen any updates. So I'm not sure how active the dev is behind it. I just wanted to try it out. I saw it on my feed and I was like, ooh, game dos. So Windows boots straight into Steam Picture Big Mode, Play Night without displaying any Explorer UI elements. Game dos is intended to emulate SteamOS. It's essentially just a bunch of batch files that set up Big Picture Steam, but on top of that, it also adds Decky Loader directly into Windows, much like your Steam Deck counterparts. So the idea is to have Windows as the base, maybe like an LTSC base. You stack this on top of it, you get Decky Loader, you build it all, bake it all into a nice HTPC, and then you have a good like Battlefield 6 type system that would work great. And then you could do everything else on your main PC or your laptop or whatever. So that's my thought process. Yeah. Yeah, data center servers only. Now, what about normal LTSC versus IoT? What do we think of that? I thought IoT was a little more stripped down, though. Jeez, you gotta make me pull up the site again, aren't you? Let's pull them all up and see. Maybe, just maybe. Dang, okay, I'm doing something. I got some issues on my network. I am doing something on my network that's slowing things down. What am I doing? There's something here. We could try IoT first. I'm afraid we might be missing some dependencies. We can always see if what's missing and then maybe create a script to add what's missing from IoT. Yeah, let's first try IoT LTSC. Load up Steam on that. See what we might be missing out of IoT. Yeah, it might be networking stuff when I set up the VMs. Could be. I still think it's something with my... 1 second. I think actually I can show my control panel. Let me just make sure I'm not... Oh yeah, no, that does show my WAN IP. Let me get out of here. Does this show my WAN IP? Son of a bitch, it does too. See, that's why Not today. I'm not doxing myself today. God, I got port forwarding on here too. Ah, God. All right. Let's remove that. Traffic logging. Protection. No, I do want to identify that is fine. Traffic firewall rules. 1 second. Actually, I don't even think I need to block this stuff anymore because that is done. Didn't want any naughty pictures on my internets, so I blocked that from the gateway as well. I don't actually think I need that rule anymore because it's hard to get that stuff without giving like an ID. So that's good. And all right, I think this is should be better. Let's see. Nah, it's still broken. What is the flush DNS Linux? Let's flush the caches. I can never remember the system resolve command to flush caches in Linux. So used to Windows. All right, we got that. We're not using bind or DNS masquerade, so we should be fine. All right, now let's stop, refresh. Come on, give me them links. Nope. Absolutely not. I think we actually got to... We do have the Enterprise LTSC, but... We're going to install Thorium. I want to just see. I just want to see. I know people made fun of me for Thorium browser, but I honestly, I think I like it the best out of all the browsers. I know it's just like one dev creating this one project, but yeah, I gotta go back to the furry Thorium. I stand, you know, honestly, everything I said in that video still rings true to today. I think it works. The fastest browser on Earth. Let's not sign in for now. Let's just see. Blanket, no extensions. Nothing. We're just sitting here. We're gonna do... What was the Windows LTSC? Yeah, see... See, it's something with my browser. Let's grab Enterprise LTSC is probably what we want. Which ones? Avoid LTSC, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You got General Availability Client, LTSC. Yep. Wow, they even give instructions on how to add Microsoft Store back in. Nice. Yeah, old winget. I think we might modify the tool to do that as well. All right, differences between IoT and non-IoT. IoT Enterprise LTSC is a winner. The only difference between IoT and subscription LTSC is that the subscription supports a subscription license. Okay, so we want IoT for that. Oh, and you can actually change between the two. I didn't know that. So you just insert a license key and it'll auto flip between the two. This is actually from Microsoft, by the way, too. Like a lot of people think these are actually activatable keys. These aren't. These are just eval keys that you use to switch versions. Not like the old days where you had to like reinstall every time you wanted to change the version. So there's that. You just throw the key in. Clean install. Yeah, I think we'll just go Windows 11 LTSC. So we'll go Windows 11 LTSC 2024. And we're going to want... this version's not IoT. Let's grab the IoT. Oh, yeah, this is the one we needed. So for IoT... After installing Windows, to change the edition, enter the IoT key of this on the activation Windows page. Actually, this one for 2024. We installed... Cool. Yeah, so we'll go LTSC IoT is probably the best way. Let's see. Let's pull it up. I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like. We'll go ahead and delete MicroWin. What was this one? Oh, you know, I broke my BIOS. The HP BIOS had like a bad update and it bricked itself whenever I have SSDs attached. Thanks, HP. You're amazing. You suck. Yeah. Screw it. Let's just delete that too. Oh yeah, we tried 13. You know, I'm gonna leave 13. Maybe I'll look at that again. We don't need to reinstall it or anything. So let's go browse, downloads, refresh. Let's try this LTSC. We'll go with the IoT. I don't think it really matters actually. Let's just give it 40 gigs of memory. Kidding. Let's give it 20. All right. Ooh, actually, we do need to set that to Win11. Now that I'm thinking about it. It's going to want to set up with... we'll give it 16 gigs. Let's give it 60 gigs here. Yeah, all right. Sorry. Couldn't make up my mind on that. Let's give it 8 vCPUs. Yeah, I think actually I'm going to switch from Chrome back to Thorium. Because Chrome has been just, even after I removed like all my content filtering from the network, all that, it was just kind of like, kind of stumbling along. And I'm like, man, it could be something I'm doing, but let's give Enterprise a shot here. Okay. As I thought. 1 second here. Let's add some TPM. Yeah. Shoot. TPM2 not supported. I can't remember the thing. 1 second. TPM2 not supported. QEMU. Add package Arch Linux. That's it. SWP. SWTPM. That's what we need. Let's grab that. Thank you. That should do her. Let's close that. Let's quit. Vert manager. Let's rebuild that. Delete. Well, actually, we don't need to recreate. We're just going to change. Actually, I think we can just boot. Oh, did I add the TPM? Oh, jeez, I don't think I did. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. Oops. Let's add that TPM in. There we go. Now we got TPM2. Let's boot it back. We might run into another... problem here. I think it wants... I can't remember if we did UEFI or not. We'll find out here in a second. There might be a UEFI configuration setting we got to do too. Nah, that did it. Chris, do IoT version instead. Oh, this one is not? Okay. Oh, yeah. I got you. Thanks for saving my bacon there, chat. I thought there was an IoT. Let's wait. Let's just wait. Take it 3 minutes. There is an LTSCIO ISO. You could switch to IoT for providing the correct licensing key, but if you can just download the proper ISO, it's probably easier just to go ahead and do that. Because when you switch the license key, then it starts to modify your install, so it's going to add more bloat. You always want to pick the proper version if you can. If you're up against a wall and you're like, I just need to switch this and say, screw it, I'm going from home to pro. I don't want to reinstall everything. I'm just going to add the key to upgrade. Totally get it. That's fine. But like, if you're starting from scratch anyways, just download the right ISO. I was just being lazy. When I installed LTS Windows, my virtual machine, it kept restarting randomly. Really? You know, it's been a minute since I tried LTSC, so let's see what happens. Yeah, I want to say you have to activate, like Julian says. I think it updates. It's not like Windows 11 or 10 when if you don't activate it, you just get a watermark. LTSC, I think, does restart randomly if you fail to activate. So you got to activate it. No. Phoenix, I haven't tried File Pilot. I don't know. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to Windows. A lot of times I like everything to be as minimal on the third-party tools as possible. So I really don't like having many third-party tools, just in general. As just a principle. It has no dependencies. All right. Well, we'll have to try File Pilot. I mean, I'll pay him $40. I think it looks like a good product. The restarting only happens with eval keys. I grabbed a server 2022 data center bulk VLK or volume license key from Microsoft to switch from evaluation and had that running for hours. It didn't shut down. Could be. I think I still have a whole kind of date myself here, but I think I have a whole spreadsheet of just all kinds of VLK IDs from one of my jobs. I don't know if they're any good. It's been years and years, probably a decade or more now. And most of those, I think there's a couple like VLKs for Windows 10 LTSC, but this would have been like 2016 LTSC, the last key I might have. Oh, you can just do the beta for free. Oh, okay, good to know, Phoenix. Try it out. God, yeah. I think I found like an old Windows 95 CD with the Sharpie written key directly on the CD. Oh, those were the days. Yeah, XP. Do you think the call centers are still available for XP? Remember how you could only activate XPs like twice? And then you had to call the 800 number, and then you'd have to sit there back and forth and feed the IDs, and then it would give you the proper code, and you type that in, and then it would activate. God, that was such a nightmare. I did that so many times. Because inevitably, everyone would use up their activations, and Microsoft just made this stupid telephone way of resetting your activation count, essentially. So you just call in, you feed it the IDs, you get a new ID, and it's using the same key. It was just such a convoluted mess. And that was kind of like their idea of, it was awful. Yeah, that's dead. Well, that's good. It probably needed to die. Oh my God. I mean, XP, I think XP is the one that had the source code leaked, right? So technically, you could probably redo all that yourself. I activated an old Win 7 online last year. Oh my gosh. Oh man, now that's something. All right, so let's try the IoT really fast. We're gonna just reload this back. Before we get too far in the weeds, we're gonna grab the IoT one this time, as that is the recommended. Yeah, I can't remember. With Windows 7, I want to say it still had the call center, didn't it? I can't remember the activation. I haven't activated a Windows 7 in over a decade, probably. We'll click through here. I'll make sure you don't click, obviously, the subscription version. Shouldn't have to tell people that, but you never know. Let's see. It's still possible to call them to activate it. Oh my. That's crazy. Key differences between IoT and the other version you bailed out of. IoT has 10-year support and it doesn't have as many dependencies. So I think IoT's a bit more, excuse me, a bit more stripped down. You might go with the regular version for, and correct me here, Chad, if I'm wrong, but you might want to go with the regular version if you want Microsoft Store access. IoT has no TPM requirement. Oh, well, I didn't know that. We added TPM2 anyways, so that was not a big deal. You can always modify directly doing a regedit too. A lot of people don't realize you don't even, like, this is just a fancy GUI. Like, you can, like, I think it'll even work here. You can shift F10, you can do a regedit, and then you can start going to town here and modify directly in any Windows install. Hell, like, even if it was completely, let's say this didn't work at all. Let's say it's just like, yeah, you don't meet requirements and there's no way to change the registry to update that. A lot of people would be like, oh, you can't install it. You can actually install all of Windows through the CLI. You can just pop up your CMD, you can DISM, find the install.wim file, boom, load it up. You got to set up the partition scheme yourself using diskpart. You can do it all. You don't even need the GUI. The more you know. So anyways, yeah, that's totally doable. Most people don't realize that. Like, it's all right there. It's just Windows people are a little bit, just don't know. Hell, I mean, there's probably a lot of people at Microsoft that don't know you could probably still do that. I saw someone speed running Windows install when he did everything in the CLI. That's going to be a short stream. It takes about 5 minutes to do it. Someone that needs to touch grass for their own mental health. Hey, I know I'm crazy. I would probably do something like that. But I mean, most of the speed run for this type of stuff is pretty straightforward. Oh, NT guy, light guy. I'd be kind of curious to see the NT light guys. How fast did he do it in Phoenix? Probably like 2 or 3 minutes. I think if you had a good hardware and a base install, had the install media on like an NVMe, and then NVMe installed it from another drive, I bet you could get Windows down to a 2 or 3 minute install. Yeah. What'd you send? Software release. Oh, cool. Yeah. I need to add that in for members. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Caleb. Oh, I've been using something new. It's kind of interesting. So for Discord in Linux, I've been trying Vestop. I don't know. It's got like a rainbow flag when you launch it, and it seems okay though. I don't know what the drawbacks are here, but I think it was Vestop, wasn't it? Yeah, so this right here, Vestop. It's a standalone Electron-based Discord app with VinCord and improved Linux support. The reason why I grabbed that instead of, I think the other one was VinCord I was using, but I thought Vestop was a pretty good install. So I tried that for Discord, and it's been all right so far. Only good things. Leg cord fan. What the hell's leg cord? Huh. Yeah, you can get members only from Twitch sub, YouTube sub, Patreon. I still got to add the Patreon folks in, and then we'll update it, and I'll make a new post on over there on Patreon, which I got to do more posts on. I've been lazy. Speaking of, while that installs, I'm probably gonna, guys. I think I'm going back to thorium. I can't help myself. All right. So I think we're gonna check that. Patreon posts. Add that in there. We're working on the game nose right now. This was the speed run. Oh, minute 49. Hell yeah. Okay, I got something going on here. I think I've broken my Chrome. What if we try Chromium? How many people use Chromium? It has to be the 17 extensions. I think I'm going to switch from that to Chromium, probably. Discordo? What is that? Yeah, I'm going to just go Chromium. I think Thorium's just a little bit too dated. We're on Chromium's on like 139 and Thorium's on 130. So I can't use Thorium. It's just a little too dated. So let's remove that one. Yeah, 130. So we got to, I'm just going to move to thorium. I'm going to go to chromium. I'm going to strip down my extensions. Everything's going to be right with the world again. We did break the config the other reason too. Yeah, it does need an update. All right. Here we go. Yeah, Qt browser is pretty cool. So this is this version. I did want to look up the speed run.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, we're How Ridiculous, 3 childhood friends.
Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna have to pause that. Inti Dev, man, he's been around forever. You guys remember the Windows 7 images? He'd build ISOs, Inti Dev, that would have like all the patches and the roll-ups. Because Windows 7, they never updated like the base ISOs. These days they do a pretty good job. Like, I don't think NT Dev's rollups are really needed anymore. But back after like 4 or 5 years after Windows 7 was released, everyone was using NT Dev's ISOs, mainly because they didn't want to do like 4 hours of updates after you finished installing Windows. It was stupid. Oh no. Yeah, the ISOs would have rollups for like USB 3 support. They would have all like the latest, I think at one point in time, people were loading, I want to say Ryzen compatibility. You needed to update to when Ryzen hit the scene and AMD chips stopped sucking so bad from like the bulldozer era, which was just awful. Yeah, and the newest Windows Media Player. There was a lot of like quality of life that NT Dev put in to the Windows 7 back in the day. There you go. 1:47. Man, what a Chad. What an absolute Chad. Ugh. How are we doing? Look at this. All right. Let's set up our IoT Enterprise Windows. Yeah, I think I had like you remember like the octa-core AMD. I got that chip too. It wasn't a bad chip. Wasn't a great chip either. It was very mid, which was actually a huge success for AMD back in that day because Intel just dominated everything. So the fact AMD had something that was just didn't suck was kind of nice. So I remember the octa-core and I was like, oh, I'm going to get that finally someone to compete with Intel. And then I got it and I was like, it's okay. It doesn't suck. It's not very good though. Yeah. Yeah, Intel just dominated for over a decade. It was just not even close. All right, here we go. What is the IoT setup here? Looks pretty standard. Like, it's not like Microsoft's gonna honor you unchecking those boxes too. It's like, what's the point? I usually just flip through, enter. Good. You always hit domain join, even if it's not joining a domain. It's just like one of those things. Eventually, they'll probably remove the local access through a domain join, but what is this shit? What a bunch of fucking crackheads. How do you distribute an ISO and then have this at the end of it? Like, how are you that incompetent? Who thought this was okay? For an enterprise IoT ISO, this is the experience. They're lucky they have a very, very big monopoly. But even with this big of a monopoly, this is stupid. Like, what? God, what a joke. Yeah, unattended still for the win. You have to do unattended these days. This is crazy. Oh, but don't forget, guys, they're a green company. They care about the environment and efficiency. Right. Super efficient, Microsoft morons. Oh my God. This is why you don't plug in an Ethernet for Windows installs. It's true. We could have always yanked it. That's pretty crazy. Hold tight while we install malware on your system. It's so great. Yeah, I love Naked Gun. Oh, man. All right. We're almost done with the download.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Peter, thanks for the prime. God bless it. It still kind of blows my. I mean, I'm happy we're kind of doing the stock experience here from LTSC, but it's almost a little worrying, is it not? Like, we can fix this up. We can, like, this is okay. The fact that, though, that this is like someone at Microsoft thought it would be okay to have this as the user experience for enterprise, it just makes my head explode. I can't believe it. I was like, no one in enterprise, most people in enterprise would obviously doctor the image, do unattended, throw it up. It's not that big a deal. But the fact they didn't even bother to do any thing to the ISO is just like not even a little tweak. Like, we're talking maybe a couple hours worth of work here, and I could deliver an ISO that's light years ahead of this. This is just wild. I mean, so it had to be a conscious decision to make the enterprise ISO like this. All right. I'm here for it. Like I said, I mean, I always applaud Microsoft and its incompetence. Just more things to fix. Yeah. Ooh, Coding Wonders just linked something. What's that? And it occurs on a server. What? So they've always had something like this, Coding Wonders. Telemetry still happens, but let's see. Send information about the websites you browse and how you use apps and features, plus additional information about device health, device activity, enhanced error reporting, diagnostic data to help. Yeah, everyone usually does required only, and then usually do a GPO for security only on the telemetry. So yeah, it's always been some kind of form of this on server setups. But as you set up a lot of servers, typically I always just hit required only. It just looks different. They've always done an egregious amount of telemetry. That's kind of crazy though. I mean, on servers, honestly, it's like, do you really even use it? Honestly, I'm just happy they don't ship IE anymore on servers. Remember, I don't know how many people messed around with Internet Explorer or Internet Exploder on, they did IE enhanced security for servers. Essentially, it was like a gimped version of a browser. It couldn't really do anything. Hell, I mean, maybe pull up like 3 sites on the internet that had absolutely no JavaScript on it. Which almost every single site in the world has some type of JavaScript on it. It was another fallacy of Microsoft. Just what were you doing? Nobody thought this through. But yeah. Ugh. So there's always been some form of shenanigans from Microsoft in telemetry and reporting, or just instituting bad features. Yeah, it's just so much development effort. I think that's probably the most thing that I'm like, this is truly the marvel of it. That's the thing I think that I'm just like, really, guys? It's been 20 years. But I think with the FANG companies, like, let's say they get someone that's good up there, like someone that actually knows a thing or two. They're not going to last very long. They're going to be there for probably 3, 4, 5 years. And then they're going to make their bank. They're going to go through the promotions. They're going to make enough money. And then if they're smart enough, they're going to go do their own thing. Like, nobody is like a lifetime Microsoft employee, I don't think. Maybe someone that doesn't. I shouldn't say that. There's probably some people that are more not cut out for that. But even still, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, ugh. What do we got? That's pretty legit for File Pilot. I like that. All right, I need to install the beta of that just to test it out. Wow. Yeah, this guy put in a lot of R&D, a lot of time. Because Explorer's pissed me off so many times in recent years. Oh, crap. I need to sign back into everything. Yeah, you can do the local only to skip. That's not too bad, Peter. I think. How we doing over here? Yeah, this just adds like another like 15 minutes into the install time. So the install should last about 5 minutes. Like if you do an unattended, it's going to be a 5-minute install. So I'm kind of curious. What would probably be the most infuriating if we get on the desktop and we go to updates and there's a cumulative update, I'm going to scream. I'm going to be like, all right, what the hell did you guys just do? Because that's insane. That's just pure insanity. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Contrary to belief, I root for the day Microsoft doesn't screw up everything. Just half of the things would be nice. But it just seems like everything they touch just turns to mud. It's like, they haven't screwed up GitHub yet, but now that the CEO's out, maybe. Give it time. Give it time. I'm sure it'll be there. Yeah, so LTSC asked for a Microsoft account. So far, we've seen almost a full-blown the whole out-of-box experience for LTSC hasn't been any different from standard Windows right now. File Pilot's written just in C, the handmade way. Wow. Yeah, but you just hit domain instead. Domain join instead, just like Windows 11 Pro install. All this is the same as a Windows 11 Pro install so far. Jim, that's kind of what we're trying to do today, is just revamp Windows into a decent gaming home theater PC. Yeah. I'll have to check out File Pilot. That looks good. Yeah, it was kind of weird about, I don't know if y'all saw the difference between Chrome and Android. Like, they're rolling Chrome OS into Android and just having Android as the stock system. That could be interesting, actually. I know a lot of people kind of like crapped on them for Google killing yet another project. But I could kind of see a world where you carry around your phone, because the phones are powerful, almost like a computer these days, and they're just getting faster and faster. See a day where you just came in, you picked up your phone, you set it on your wireless dock, boom, it starts charging, it syncs up all your screens, and you're good to go. You don't even have a computer, the phone is the computer. That's a great idea. You have Samsung Dex that's tried it in the past. You have a whole bunch of people that have tried this idea of one unified device that just has it all. But I feel like that's the most logical step that Google's pushing. And I'm kind of here for it. I would love to see that actually be functional. It's not going to be great, mind you. Never is. But if it was just functional, I would be impressed. And I think they'll get there. Yeah, they're doing a reverse Windows, one OS to rule them all. But I could see it happening. Android's looking pretty good. And honestly, I liked Chrome OS. As much as people shit all over Chrome OS, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a well put together operating system. And I really enjoyed how they did like the containerized stuff, to where if you like needed to install Arch and needing a bunch of Linux apps in your Chrome OS install, you could do that. But at the same time, it gave such a really safe play space for all users that anybody, kids could use it, anybody. You didn't have to be computer literate, and it worked great. So Chrome OS got a bad rap, but I could see them baking that into Android and having that one unified device. I could see that working. There's a future there where I kind of like, maybe. This was the OOBE from Server 2002. Oh, dang. Yeah. That's straight up like the local only command we did earlier. Yeah, I think the one saving grace Microsoft has right now, a lot of people forget this about Microsoft, but they're like the OGs of patent trolling, and they have a ton of patents. So even when they have like a really large downturn, they don't really see a huge drop in revenues, and they've done a great job diversifying off of Windows in recent years. I think Windows only accounts for 10 or 20% of their market share. Like O365, most of that is from subscription service models. I think it's like 20 or 30% of their revenue, and they make a ton of money off of O365, and more than Windows. And most of that's just all hosted. And then Azure, I think, is even a bigger piece of the pie, where Azure's making them more money than Office as well, and more money than Windows. And Azure's all Linux-based, cloud-based infrastructure. I'm not a huge fan of Azure. I think the one as big of the misses that Microsoft's ever done and why I kind of like worry there's not enough competence at Microsoft is when you look at Azure Active Directory and compare it to on-prem Active Directory, just traditional Windows Server Active Directory, the fact they're both named Active Directory is wrong, because Azure Active Directory just sucks. There's no way to say it any other way. Azure Active Directory just isn't Active Directory. It's a frickin' abomination, and it's terribly implemented. I don't think I know any companies that are actually using Azure Active Directory well. Most of them use just like this bastardized version where it's just kind of like halfway working, to where they do some tie-ins with O365 and that's about it. But actually, everyone still uses on-prem Active Directory from my knowledge. Maybe that's changed a little in recent years, but every time I've ever tried Azure Active Directory, it just falls on its face. It's just not feature rich at all. It just doesn't have the abilities of on-prem. Can't even manage workstations all that well. It's just bad. And that's disappointing, because that was one thing I really would have loved, to remove the on-prem Active Directory and have everything hosted in the cloud. It would have been nice, but it just never came to fruition for Microsoft. And Azure Active Directory just never actually built itself out, and it never really became an Active Directory. And that's the biggest miss from Microsoft. It's weird. So they have all these products. They're still making billions of dollars, trillions of dollars these days. I think they're like $4 trillion company now, something stupid. And they still just make not great products. It's just disappointing. You know, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's like, man, there's just so much opportunity here to really just knock it out of the park, and they just never really deliver. And even when they do deliver, like O365 Exchange back in the day when they first delivered that was amazing. Like, getting rid of on-prem Exchange was great at the time. Now they've just enshittified it, and it's just gotten worse, not better. They've tried to break everything off into these piecemeal packages where people are like, screw this, let's go back to on-prem. I'd rather have that headache than anything else. So oh, 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry. Woo. My hook's still holding over there. Oh, it's not called Azure Active Directory. It's called Intra ID. Well, at least they renamed it. That's right. I forgot about the rebrand. Oh, good luck there, Caleb. Server 2025. Typically, my rule for installing server in on-prem stuff is I never install Windows Server the year it's released. I always wait 12 months, a full year. So I'll never install Server 2025 in 2025. I never installed 2022 and then 2018, or was it 2016? No, I think there was a 2018 server. Anyways, I never install it the year it's released. I always wait for at least a year to pass. But yeah. All right. Well, sweet. How are we doing on our install? Dude, this thing is still installing. God. Really? This is the IoT LTSC install. It's been over 30 minutes, right? That's just terrible. Like, what are you doing, Microsoft? Slowest Windows install ever. I know. I mean, it's been a while since I did a stock install. Epilepsy warning. Phantom, thanks for the bits, man. I tried Arch install for a VM to check it all works. Followed your guide, but when I restart Grub, gives the error minimum bash line editing is supported. Set pager equals 1. Huh. You sure you installed Grub properly? Sounds like a Grub mistake there. Did you forget to do like probably like grub dash make config output to /boot /grub/grub.cfg? It sounds like you missed the grub make config command. Yeah, I know. I don't think MicroWin works on LTSC. Have you tried Coding Wonders? I know Coding Wonders does a lot of MicroWin work. Yeah, Server 2019 was released in 2018, 2022 and 2021, 2025 and 2024, and so on. Yeah. Usually I like to wait. I still stand by my statement. So Server 2025 did launch, and I think they usually launch towards the end of the year. Fact check me here. But I want to say it's like in November or October kind of release schedule on most of those. And then I usually like to wait the following year and then install after it's been kind of battle tested. You haven't tested on LTSC yet? I haven't either. So let's see where it's at. I'm also, one thing about Omarchy I'm noticing, I don't know if this shows on the stream, but there's a bleed through effect where you can kind of see like my wallpaper on the lower end of things. It's kind of weird. Like there's this weird bleed through that happens. Anyways, what is this? Let's see. First off, what do we got from a C drive usage? Let's go this PC. Is this LTSC? Damn near 15 gigs of used space. God. Gross, man. Windows update. So we sat through all of that. You still got an intelligence update, malicious, that's fine, that's a quick one. Cumulative update for .NET, and security platform's not that bad. These two things, after sitting through all of that, let's see how big they are. It better be, no, that Defender and software is fine. Those will be quick. This one, I mean, who the hell's using .NET 3.5? 4.8 maybe, but even still, that's pretty long in the tooth. Okay, those aren't too bad, it doesn't look like. Let's see how fast the installs are. As if it gave me like a big cumulative update one, I would have lost my shit. After 30 minutes of an install, I was like, it better have all that. Well, so you're saying you sat through an update to have more updates? Well, that's just the Windows experience, brother. Why we're sitting here waiting. I've been wanting to try. It's been a while since I've been on LTSC. I'm going to actually change a few things. Come on. This running kind of like poo. Let's, well, 1 second. Let's download Vert.io since we're using those. Let's go Fedora. They have the best. Let's go. Let's go latest. Guest tools, please. Open. Fedora hasn't been burying. I'm actually on the search results here. They've actually gotten a lot better. I used to have to really hunt for these Vert.io drivers, but they're actually not too bad anymore. Yeah, let's try Winget and the tool, because I've had a lot of issues with people like mentioning it in chat and GitHub issues. So I'm kind of curious. Get that guest agent in there. This isn't too bad. This isn't like a standard standard one, so it's not the end of the world. That wasn't as bad as it could have been. Ow! Well, that's why I put them over there. I learned my lesson from that one day. I had something on my left side, and then I knocked it over on my keyboard. Yeah, I think Proxmox just does the link bud to Fedora. So I just grab it. I mean, I think they all come from Fedora for the most part. All right, so we're looking good there. Looking good there. Let's try the tool real fast. I've been wanting to try this in LTSC for a minute. So I'm kind of curious. I'm fairly certain it's going to fail because we don't have a Microsoft store. And I want to see how the installer works, if it works. I don't think it will. So let's say we're going to install Chromium, right? Oh, let's not do Chromium. Let's do something a little lighter. Let's do like 7-zip. Kind of curious. It should grab parts of the app installer, but it's probably going to miss other dependencies. Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, that won't work like that, but did we do a dev release with the last update from this? I can't remember. Let's try it. Let's just install dark mode real fast too. 1 second. I think this is gonna be the same versioning. Yeah, nah. All right, well, let's go dark mode, finish that out. We're gonna go performance. Let's get rid of that. Cross device resume. Nasty. Let's get rid of Bing search and recommendations. All right, great. I'm not gonna do any tweaks right now. I'm just doing some sensible things, just for my own sanity. So that doesn't work, which I didn't think it would. But if we do like an import PS gallery, what's that look like? Oh, we got Copilot search with Bing. Let's try Bing out. It's been a minute. Here we go. Bing's gonna save the day. Oh yeah, File Pilot. Phoenix is on the File Pilot train today. What do we got? Couldn't get nougat. Now, for a while, I think we could do chocolatey. Chocolatey actually has a winget module. Let's see. I got an idea. Guess I want to try. Oh. Let's go chocolatey, nougat, install. So we could detect LTSC, grab chocolatey, install nougat, then grab PS gallery, then install. I mean, that could work. Let's try that. So let's say we go PS gallery now. It's still didn't find it though. Let's relaunch. You can replace module name with module name. Oh. This is what I get for copying from Bing for using Copilot. I think it's just repository PS gallery. This is not right. God bless. All right. Let's go PS gallery. I think it's app installer, but this is it. PS resource. Got the raw nougat file. I wonder, can we do the install module without that? Maybe. I think it'll auto grab the PS gallery. Let's see. Yeah, so then that should, you don't need to do the PS gallery. You can just do install module direct Microsoft winget. And now when you launch this tool, it should be repaired. Or far enough along to where winget should work. So let's say we're here. Now let's go to winget for the package manager. Let's go 7-zip, install. Let's see what it finds. I gotta fix that. All right, now we're gonna fix up the CLI, see if this works. There we go. And we're off to the races. Yeah, just mainly getting that module. And I think I already did this commit, and I think that should work with LTSC. The only thing I'm not sure about is us doing... the only thing I'm not sure about is us not doing the install module, install NuGet through Chocolatey first. That might be a dependency that we might need to add if LTSC is detected. But that's the only thing. But anyways, WinGet is working now, which is great. So then you could just do standard tweaks. Let's try that out. Shouldn't have any of that. Run. Typically want to automate PS Gallery by installing the package manager and making the repository a trusted one. Oh, okay. Yeah, nanzip's also better Rux too. Yeah, we need to add that. Let me look. Minimal back. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that, Phantom. So you're grabbing NuGet package provider right here. Then you got the set PS Gallery as trusted. Yeah, you got this one. Windows Update Force. Nana is 7 in Japanese. Good to know. I don't know, Phantom. This ain't tech support, bro. I would say it sounds like a grub configuration issue. Rerun grub-make config, and then you should be good to go. So, like, what this looks like, Phantom, is... I can just show you. So, from your... You should be... If you're using Arch install, you probably should be using chroot. Probably. So, what you do is sudo grub mk config output boot grub.cfg. This will remake your grub configuration file. Then grub will see that configuration file, detect everything, and you're good to go. It sounds like this side is not happening. Now, if you're new to Linux installs and you're doing Arch install, which most people are, you got to make sure you're rooted in. You got to chroot into that bad boy and then do this. Because if you do this outside and you're on a live ISO, it's not going to do it. So it's really important you get all this right. Otherwise, you won't be able to boot. Other things that people don't understand is sometimes you might not be using grub. You might have system deboot, and that's a whole different bootloader, and none of this will work. So that's why I was like, it just depends. That's why supporting Linux is just an absolute fool's errand. Because supporting all the different Linux configurations is impossible. There's just so much to know. There's no way you could train very many people on that. It's just, man, difficult. Difficult to say the least. Yeah, see, some people like using system deboot. Although that was a kappa, so. Yeah, go ahead, Code and Wonders. You can toss up a PR for it. I swear we already did part of that. I don't think we added the trusted for PS Gallery, though. You'll see where the last edits were. Because I added some of that code, but I don't think we did all of it. Where... Did we shut down that? Oh no, it's still open. It's like, where did that go? All right. It did seem like it worked fine. All right, LTSC standard tweaks done. Please sign out and restart your computer to apply the changes. Does look like this bombed out right in the middle, though. That does not look like a finished tweak. Am I missing something? Let's see. Might have been edge in the background. All right. Let's give it a reboot. Leave an edge open probably mess me up. Yeah, this is kind of like this is the stock setting. Really not that bad. Just the install took way too long. That's not bad. Probably would also just hide the search box. So then you have that. We got a clean. LTSC is very, very clean, I will say. The toolbox is working. Everything else is fine. Yeah. What's our device manager look like? Everything look good? Yeah, everything looks good on the device manager. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So I'd probably go, let's try that Game Dose project. Actually, so we did quick little standard tweaks. One thing that was bothering me with the standard tweaks, though, probably do, yeah, we're not, no pre-release was found. So let's go PowerShell 7. I don't know. I really like PowerShell 7. I wish they made this the default. Hopefully in one of the new upcoming releases, they'll switch everything from PowerShell 5 to PowerShell 7. And God, I got to get rid of this. I don't like that pop-up. That needs to be more intuitive and only request when a user mode absolutely has to happen. I don't like that. DWM is bloated. Get out of here, Phantom. You trying to get banned? I'll ban you for saying DWM is bloated. You don't talk about my child like that. Get out of here with that blasphemy. I may not be on DWM right now, but you don't talk about DWM like that. Mm-mm. Not on my watch. Yeah. It was Phoenix that said it. You know what my DWM is? Functional, and it always works. Always. Every time. Your 51 lines where you don't even know what the hell workstation you're on with nothing. Get out. Get out of here. Get out of here with that business. Ain't nobody buying what you're selling. Crazy. This is another thing that I noticed. Now, this isn't an LTSC problem. It's more of a... See, this is Windows PowerShell. This is still 5. But, I'm sorry, I digress. When updating PowerShell within PowerShell, you can only update, like, if you're updating PowerShell 7, you can't do an update of PowerShell 7 within PowerShell 7, if that makes sense. All right, so then we do tweaks. I'm going to just do this one. Let's get our right-click tweak as well. Yeah, Phoenix is straight up just using Odin too. It's kind of cool. You got over here. Old Simple Jack. What you doing over here, Simple Jack? I gotta fix that when I pull up people's messages. You created it in 2012. Man, on Twitch for that long? Jeez. You should know some manners. Anyways, banned. All right, continuing on. Widgets button centered. This doesn't look right, but anyways. That's fine. So let's clear that out. Standard run. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if this bombs out again. I imagine it will. And we probably need to do... Let's see. I mean, it could have been the edge tweaks, I think, that we did at the end here. I want to see it say tweaks finished on LTSC, because I think it was dying towards the end here. But it could have been debloat edge with the edge being open. Yeah, no, it was just the edge issue. Okay, that's fine. And then when we reopen, still Windows PowerShell by default. Might be a Windows reboot. It's not bad though. I really do like LTSC. I think it's a very clean starting spot. Yeah. That tweak is not working. Probably... I wonder. It kind of makes me think... What about Windows Terminal? It might be a dependency. Windows Terminal. Let's go here. And then Microsoft Windows Terminal. I'm kind of curious. So I probably would do the winget fix, also add Windows Terminal if LTSC is detected. And that way, like, I'm just thinking how I would use it. So we'll go Windows Terminal. This does launch into 7 by defaults. Settings, PowerShell, Windows Terminal instead of con host. Save that. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah. So let's close that out. Now, yeah. Now we're to a good spot. So this is exactly how I'd want it to be. Look at that. That's kind of trippy. It's grabbing my background from Linux and seeing through the VM. That's kind of neat. Anyway. I like that LTSC. This is a good base setup, which I'd probably would. Let's shut down and snapshot this, actually, because I think I'm going to keep this. I want to add this and go initial LTSC 2025-08-28 finish. So yeah, we'll have that as far as the VMs go. Have a good listing, and then that way I can flip back and forth between them. I do want to rename this. Oof. It's probably not worth renaming. Yeah, sure. Let's go. LTSC 2024 IoT. Oh, we got snapshots. 1 second. We can just redo the snapshot. All right. 2024. We'll just put LTSC 2024 2025 08. Fat finger that. 08 28. Right there. Perfect. So I give it a good description of what that is. We'll go initial. With tweaks. So that'll give us a good starting spot. And now we could create the perfect gaming experience. So yeah, PR now ready. Okay, sweet. Let's just merge that before I forget. Oh God, I gotta sign into everything. All right, 1 second. We're gonna just sign in. Damn it. Damn it. All right, here we go. Does Chromium by default? Oh no. Problem. Wait a second. Yeah, man. I can't use my Google account to sign into Chromium. What happened here? All right, well, I can show you guys this. It's not. I guess I could go sync. But the Chromium, I think by default, does not have a sign-in. Am I missing something? I swear. This could be the Chromium I'm using, though. All right, what's going on? Am I forgetting? Am I forgetting something here? Chromium has sync removed. Oh, wow. You cannot add Chrome sync functionality to standard Chromium. You can enable sync in Chromium by obtaining your own Google API key and OAuth credentials, building Chromium with those keys and configuring the browser to use them, then signing into the same Google account in both Chrome and Chromium. That's insane. What? I mean, I guess you could do that. You could use third-party sync tool. I think not. Use ungoogled Chromium. Really? All right, so Thorium has the sync, I want to say. Let's go Thorium browser again. Like, what's going on with the development of Thorium browser? This insane person's still developing Thorium for Windows 7. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Let's look at the GitHub. The gits of the hub. We need to know. I'm not going to make Titus browser. That sounds like an absolute nightmare. You guys know how many projects I have already? That's just insanity. All right, so all right, main repository. So here's Thorium. He's still working on it 2 weeks ago. Chromium fork named after, yeah. He's still on 130. I wonder why he's sticking on 130. So he's always building on the latest version of Chromium, but Chromium, if we look on their repo, which is somewhere in here, right? Where's Chromium GitHub? The official GitHub mirror. Okay, great. What releases are they having? Tags. Let's see what tags they got. Yeah, so damn, they're up to 141. So we're 11 versions behind. It's not great. It's not great, but there's got to be a reason. I just want that to work, and then I can just install it and use it, and I wouldn't have to worry. But that is quite a few revisions behind. I don't know. What are we thinking for a browser? I hate changing browsers. Yeah, micro fork it. Yeah, no. DHH paid like $5,000 for the micro fork, and then he paid a bug bounty because he wanted just theming, and then they submitted it to the official one. So essentially, he paid for development of a feature on Chromium that he wanted, and then did it. Yeah. Titanium. Oh my god. I know it. I'm just not sure I even want to bother with it. Do I just keep using my buggy ass Chrome? I know. Ladyberg's just not quite there. What do we got? Google Chrome. DuckDuckGo's just Microsoft, guys. All of DuckDuckGo's results are filtered through Bing. All the advertisements that filter and power up DuckDuckGo is Microsoft. So, just a wolf in sheep's clothing there. Apparently we had some issues. Let's re-pull our databases. Yeah, I just don't want to resync all that crap. I just got so much stuff, and I just don't want to do it. So let's just fix up Chrome. It's fine. It's just like, ugh. All right. I got too many damn browsers. Let's just remove stuff until it becomes good. I'll do like screenshot. Sponsor block's fine. You think it's uBlock Origin that's causing the problem? So, like, disabling all this crap. Seems okay. That's pretty minimal. I think it's uBlock. uBlock Lite. I think we need to do like an ad guard and do all the blocking before it even hits the browser would probably be the best way to do this. Dude, it's Chrome. It just eats all the memory. But to answer your question, how much is Chrome? Probably around probably around 1.3 1.4 gigs of memory for Chrome. Yeah, so we're right now we have 1 2 3 4. Well, let's go 4. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 extensions. Now we can remove some of these, like web highlights we can take off. I want to keep uBlock, my home screen I like, sponsor block, screenshot for YouTube, RoboForms and password manager, Go full page, screen capture, barely ever use it. Let's take it off. Dark reader, y'all a bitch if I don't have it. and then, you know, authenticator for some two-factor crap. So that's pretty bare bones. Maybe it'll work better now. Temps look high for idle. Let's see. What was my idle temps? 80C. Yeah, well, it's a pre-built HP. It's a pre-built HP Xeon. I'm never getting a sponsor again. But this thing's a piece of shit. For as expensive as it is. Expensive piece of shit. Oh. God, it hurts. All right. You're not wrong, though. Good thing I don't stream. I purposely don't use dark mode. You know, sometimes I use light mode, too. Chat pisses me off enough. I just removed dark mode. When are we doing file pilot? Oh, my gosh. Tomorrow. All right. Even if it's stripped down. Yeah, uBlock's still the best. Yeah. I feel like it's just interfering in something. Anywho, let's initially we were going to winutil. We got a PR from Coding Wonders. File changes. Yeah, so this was the install module for that. We're doing install package provider NuGet force. Set that to that. Install module. There we go. And import module. Then we do our repair. That looks good, man. Looks solid, coding. Let's merge that in. All right, great. Perfect. What else we got here? Yeah, not too much. Somebody knows me. You aren't live tomorrow. Maybe I'll be tomorrow. You never know. Oh, it's funny. Vivaldi's still on Chrome 138, from what I can see. Yeah, I can see that most people run like 1 or 2 revisions behind Rux, so that makes sense. The thing that would kind of alarm me about Thorium and why I didn't just install it again, it's running, it's running almost 10 now versions behind. That's a lot. That's a lot of revisions behind, and I just don't want to do that. You're doing a fork of Omarchy where you didn't need to do a fresh install. Is that still happening? Kind of. DP, it's kind of hard to do it from scratch, and DHH keeps changing that installer so much. And there's little things about the Omarchy install that I'm kind of like, I don't like. And I don't know if I'm going to stay on Omarchy. Or Omarchy, or however you want to say it. I think one of the things that bothers me is the opacity effects seem kind of broken. Like, you can still see the background here. This opacity is 100%. So, I don't know. It's just, like, this should be 100% opacity and you still bleed through. So there's like little things like that where I'm just like, I don't know. But I'm kind of tired of building my own thing too. So I don't know. What do I want to do from a system perspective? I keep bouncing around everywhere, of course, as I always do. But I just, the only thing I've ever found that's really, truly stable and works great is DWM. And I pretty much got it to where I want it. It's just not very sexy. And I guess that's a problem. It could be a Hyperland issue. It probably is, Jim. And that's the thing I always keep running into is there's always like a little bit of an issue. Like it's not like a crazy amount. It's not like a show-stopping issue. It's just little gotchas that keep kind of prodding me, and I'm just like, the OCD in me just doesn't like the imperfection. And I want to fix it, but I don't want to dedicate my entire life to fixing it, if you understand what I'm saying. Just live in the Xorg highway. I know. I'm trying to think of what I miss when I'm on Xorg. Like, what can't I do on DWM? And the one thing I can say that Hyperland does really well is multi-monitor support and high-res support. Xorg sucks at this. And that's where I think I'm kind of like, I don't know. And sometimes I do higher refresh rates too on systems like not this one. This one works great for DWM. I don't think I have any notes. Yeah. But it's enough to bother me. I'm sure it can. But yeah, the problem with Hyperland is never ending fixing and tweaking rabbit hole. I kind of agree with Jim on this one. I keep running into that where I'm just like, it's not quite there. It's close, but not quite there. But there's a lot of aspects of it that I'm like, ooh, this is nice. What if we pull in parts of, oh God, this is going to be such a bastardization. Hopefully DHH never gets wind of this. What if I just steal the things I like from Omarchy and just implement that in DWM? That might be easier. Just steal like Walker. A few other things. I don't even really need to steal Walker. I'm actually kind of okay with how I have Rofi configured. I do like how he does the key bindings, though. He has a lot of taste. If I could just steal some of that style. Yeah. Yeah, whenever DHH calls me up, I'll be like, I'll make time for that. But we'd have to have some kind of objective where we both align in the ideas space. Right now, I think both of us are a little too scatterbrained for any kind of collab. At least I am. I'm all over the place. Hell, sometimes I'm not even in Linux. Sometimes I got my Mac up, my old MacBook. I still got to circle back around to Macutil. Yeah, I think Walker is great for what he did. The web apps, that's what I need, Ozzy. Yeah, Rofi's great. Steal the web apps. Agreed. Jim tried the perks version, the donated version of Hyperland's donation. He says he dislikes it a lot. Man, all right. I kind of wanted to try it, but I imagine it'd be too flashy for my tastes. I know he kind of likes the anime kind of style. Oh, shit. 1 second. Ah! Here. Sorry. I'm out in my garage. A lot of people don't realize that's where I film. I put up 2 walls and an AC unit, and then I can just scream as loud as I want, and it never has any problem. I just don't like the quick shell bar. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I actually have 2 different walls. So I created an artificial wall, packed everything with insulation, and then on the other side's my garage. And this is actually pretty well insulated, probably better insulated than my house because I use like rock wool and radiant barrier. So instead of using just like crappy sheetrock and stuff like that, a lot of it I ended up using like OSB with radiant barrier and then painting, and then I think I mudded it. It was a whole ordeal. I remember I did it all in 6 weeks. It was a long 6 weeks, but I busted my butt to do it. And it worked out great. So anyways, now I can scream, yell, whatever, have a nice cooled space out here, and you have a garage in between this space and the house. So then nobody can ever hear me. It's great. I can roll up the green screen as fast as I want. Break things. I have put so many holes in this wall though. Gosh, I have modified this space so much over the years, which I was about to, on the to-do list actually. I actually was going to do a new green screen. So what my idea is, I have this other giant dome light, and I was going to put it on the back side here. This is an idea. Let me just do it, and I could actually have an entire standing section with a green screen where this other side could then get filmed, and I could shoot it into the PC. I already have a monitor over there, so I could run 2 25-foot HDMI cables from here over to there. One to mirror Twitch chat, and then another one to well, actually, I think I just need a monitor Twitch. Oh, no, then another one for the camera. So that'll feed right into OBS, and then I could do it all live, and then filter back and forth. So then I have multiple scenes where I could change and move around, all while utilizing about 80 square feet in here. A lot of people don't realize how small it is, but I can do a lot. I can do a lot with a little. Yeah. So the AC is a mini split. I went with the Mitsubishi and got that piped in as well. All the electrical I ran. I did all the drywall. I did all the mudding. Did all the painting. Did all the flooring. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy that construction side of things. We could do a motorized green screen, but I kind of like the pull up and whatnot. It's fine. I went down a rabbit hole of how American houses are insulated. Never again. Yeah, a lot of insulation, especially here in Texas, is really inefficient. So what they do is usually have, I mean, this is kind of off topic, but whatever. They do unheated attics. And what ends up happening is it's not uncommon to hit like 105, maybe even up to about 110 a couple times a year here in Texas. And all that heat gets trapped into the attic, and ACs are just running overtime here. It's kind of an insane way of insulating. So proper, like from an engineering perspective, how I would do it, mind you, I am not an engineer, but here's how I would imagine to do it, is I would cool the entire space and then try to plug any air gaps. And then that would include the attic, because I would imagine it would be much more efficient to insulate the roof area and probably would make it more structurally sound, and then have that entire attic area not necessarily finished out, but cooled. And that would make the entire house, and then try and trap all the heat outside of the house. But trapping all this heat in the attic, you go up in the attic right now, you're going to go probably I would imagine 50C plus. You know, you're talking 115, 120 Fahrenheit. And yeah, that's just having that much, that hot, just sitting on top of your house. I couldn't see that ever being a good thing. Now, some people try and do like attic fans and other things, but there's no way you're moving that much air out. It does make it somewhat cooler, but we're talking a couple degrees difference, you know, maybe 5, maybe 10 degrees, but it's not enough to really make a noticeable difference to your energy bill. So yeah, it's weird. But I mean, what can you do? It's just like, I'm not gonna do that, and I can't pay someone to do something that's never really been done here in Texas. So it's like, if I'm not gonna do it, it's just not gonna get done. And that's why a lot of times when I come up with my ideas of new stuff to configure here or do, it's just like, well, I don't think anybody's done that, and I know nobody local has done it, so I'm just gonna, you know, throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks. Much like I do when I'm programming my stuff here too. Oh my God, Phoenix and this file pilot. You are a file pilot shill, and you just started using it. This is awesome. All right, so yeah. Anyways, I do want to kind of do a new green screen thing. I need to work on Patreon posts. Finishing the linuxbook.com was the other thing I wanted to do. This is so close to being finished. I think I'm getting close to publishing here. I might need to revamp it a little bit. I want to add a couple more chapters specifically on setting up this side of things. Like I lay out, hey, here's how it is. I think chapter 9 needs to be how I set up my Linux. It just always changes. That's the problem. How I set up my Linux today is going to be different a year from now. So I think I'll do how I set up my Linux in 3 different stages. From a beginner stage, just using like KDE, an intermediate stage, or an expert stage, wherever you just switch over to a tiling window manager and then configure everything through the CLI. Yeah, I think that's where this needs to end. That's where the book will end, is actually how I set up my system and all the little nuances, and then building out that needs to finish. And then just articles. Whenever I run into something, I need to get better about whenever I fix something or do something to make an article, like we did with the VK Basalt thing that everyone was like, Titus, you're crazy. You're off your rocker. You're insane. But this is cool. I liked kind of going through that on the yesterday's stream or Tuesday stream and setting all that up. And I tried it on inside and it worked pretty darn well. I was like, all right. Oh, geez. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to shut her down for the day, get out of here a little early. I am going to work on ripping this down, moving it over there, setting up the microphones. I bought this a while back, and I wanted to try out wireless mics. Specifically, like if I wanted to get up and record in different spaces other than me sitting in this chair. And I think I can institute that with a walking mic over there, so I don't have to walk around with a microphone. That would be kind of silly, I think. Be like a game show host. It could work too. If this fails, I'll probably do that. And then, of course, yeah, I'll work on File Pilot tomorrow as well. Can you show the box? Yeah. Rode Wireless Pro. Actually, I talked to a couple other YouTube people that do more of the talking shots, talking, walking, moving shots. Usually they have like a crew with them though, and they usually use something like that. A little microphone wireless setup system. They really spoke highly of that model, and I've done that in certain interviews too, and it works great. So I'll probably do something like that. It's just the automatic switching. I have to make everything automated to where I don't need anybody but myself, because I don't want to hire anybody ever. I just want to be myself, like a troll underneath a bridge. So yeah, we could do an IRL stream. That'd be fun. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff. I kind of wanted to add some more stuff. So yeah, we can raid Fio. It's been a minute since we raided Fio. All right, y'all. I'm gonna shut it off. Later. Peace out.